I didn't mean to do it.
Oh, she's eating all the strawberries.
I love the way you say that. Wait, say strawberry again.
Strawberry. Oh, you say straws. You've eaten all the straws.
Strawberry.
I have one more, and then we're gonna start. So this is a juicy one.
This is a juicy one. Okay, so 2 topics. We're gonna start with the entertaining one. So I asked on my story to tell me what you thought, like your first judgment of me, and I've gotten some gnarly ones in my lifetime, so it's entertaining.
Me too.
Yeah. So you can tell us also what some of yours were. That you wanted a bad boy. Okay, that one's not that far off. Should we just talk about that?
Yeah. Go into it. Rip that band.
Oh God, I am the problem with society.
It's hard when the heart wants what it wants and you're told that it can't have it because the timing's wrong.
Yeah, but also like...
You want what's bad for you.
Yeah. And we are working on, which is why we're not dating, we are working on wanting what is good for us. But when you've only done certain things, and as a life coach now, I've been single 2 years because I'm done the work and am not able to go back into negative patterns because I'm so aware of me doing it. But it's also very difficult for me to like something that's healthy for me. I'm not there yet. So putting that all out there. God, we're oversharing today. Woo!
Pay for it.
But yeah, I mean, and this is why we emphasize through our work going back and looking at childhood.
Yeah.
Woo! Because, and we're back. The battery was exhausted just like us. Anyways.
Emotionally exhausted. This is such a roller coaster.
But yeah, so that's why it's so important to look back into childhood trauma. So for me, one of my parents, I won't say which, was very like really happy and then would like retreat, and really happy and loving and then would retreat. And so I'm very used to, and that's the way I experience love, is that someone is supposed to be really happy and then they retreat. So when that happens, my body experiences what it's used to and says, this is comfortable. I'm comfortable here. This is what I'm used to. This is what I grew up knowing, how to receive love. And it's also how I give love. I'm like a lot. I'm like, I really love you. And then I'll just disappear for a little bit. And then I really love you. And I'll just disappear for a little bit. And so I'm working on, and I'm very vocal about when I go into a new relationship, hey, this is something I do. When it happens, I'm well prepared and ready to work through it with you. But I can't control the other person, right? So I need to start choosing people who don't do that. And that is hard for me. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So thoughts on that? Any comments?
Well, you know, I've got some thoughts.
Go into it.
I think it is such a... We overcomplicate something that is actually so simple just because of our traumas, and putting this spin on it where it's like, oh, I mustn't feel this, I shouldn't be feeling this. You have to, what I'm experiencing now is you have to actually just allow yourself, be in it, allow yourself to feel it. I think the difficult part comes in the control. Because we can't control it. It's a situation that's completely out of our control. Like if I look at my situation, like it's really fucking sad. Excuse me swearing, but it's sad because I can't control it. And neither of us can actually control it. It's so funny that we're going through very similar things. Very similar things.
We're definitely paralleling each other, which is like incredible because we're able to... I'm able to be like, do you know how I feel? And you're like, yes, actually, currently.
Like, I just feel like what I want has been taken away. And that's very hard for me, especially because I'm an addict and I'm in recovery. And not getting what we want causes us to behave in ways that are really not great. So I'm not doing that now. I'm doing like the healthy thing, which is, you know, it's a whole new experience for me. But it still hurts. It hurts to open your feelings to someone and then to, like in my situation, it's just too soon. It's too soon. It's not a good time for anybody involved. And I'm really struggling with that because I'm struggling to come to terms with the fact that I can't have what I want. So there's this selfish
Control.
aspect. It is the control. And then I also can't control. It's like I almost want to go and micromanage and fix his situation so that he can quickly be ready. But again, it's like we can't control another person. All we can control is ourselves. So what I am trying to do really is pour that love back into me and lean into God. Guys, if I could just say that it's been the most painfully beautiful journey, like my walk with God, especially now, like I prayed so much this morning about it, because it really is teaching me to lean into Him, because I don't have another option. As much as I would like it, I don't have it. And I think it's the same for us. We keep hitting this wall where we're like, okay, should I text him? I'm gonna text him. No, I'm not. But I just want to say this. I just want to say this. And it's like we have all this in our hearts and we try to justify ourselves around to getting what we want. Like, I'm supposed to have no contact, so is she. And it's like, I'm like, but I could just say this. No, God, say it to God. I've answered our question. Say it to God.
Yeah.
There we go.
Say it to God. Say it to God.
So, it's hard.
It's really hard. But this is where, just like the gym, this is where the work happens. This is where we get strong. When it hurts. When it hurts so bad.
So bad.
That last set that just burns, that's when you get the strongest. And if we can learn to not need to control, not need to get what we want, not need love from another person, then we are going to be so healthy in our future marriages. So healthy.
We are.
So healthy. Brick walls in the best way.
When it's hard, give it to God.
Give it to God. And that's
love
the
that.
lesson I for sure know. I know 100,000,000% without a shadow of a doubt that I'm going through what I'm going through, and you're going through what you're going through right now, because God is like, I am teaching you to live with me alone. And until you learn to be happy with me alone, you cannot be with anyone else, because I'm giving you what you asked for.
Can we take a moment to feel, because I actually feel that is so deeply profound and true.
I love you.
Oh.
Okay, next judgment about me. Let's see. That you're all talk and no action with men, just feel just feeling things out.
Well, at least he said he's just feeling things out.
No, he's saying that that's what I am. I'm all talk and no action.
action.
I'm just feeling things out. I think that what you're supposed to do as when you're dating, you're supposed to just feel things out. That's healthy. But being all talk and no action, I think that comes a little bit, that opinion of me might be a little bit accurate, because it's kind of what I just said, where I have this tendency to be like, like all in, a love bomber. I'm a love bomber. I love being love bombed because I am a love bomber for sure. Like, I openly admit I have definitely love bombed some people. And then I had to catch myself being like, oh, that was a lot. I don't know if I actually feel that way.
But do
in the
you
moment,
feel like it's because of your fear of actually being seen? Because if you show up and someone doesn't like who you are, then you suffer that rejection. So if I show up to you, I can love bomb you and you can feel this, but if I actually have to meet you where you are and you have to take a good hard look at who I am, raw, nakedness, this is me, no masks, and you say, don't really like that, then I am worthless. I am
I've
nothing.
never thought about that. That's a really good point.
That's my fear. Basically, that's my fear.
I think we all, I mean, we're so complex as humans. I think there's parts of you, just knowing you, there's parts of you that loves yourself and that knows you're worthy. And there's, of course, parts of us that we don't feel good about. That's like human. So, of course, we're afraid when it comes to romance.
Because the ego is involved in the romance as well. Because
yeah.
you're putting your heart out there.
Yeah.
It's like,
Then it's just like, because with friends, it's like, this is who I am. Take it or leave it. And if they leave, it's like, whatever, I have more friends.
Yeah.
But with love, especially when you deeply feel for someone, you only feel for one person at a time.
Oh,
who
this
you
is making me
deeply-
so emotional. But it's true. You deeply feel for one person at a time.
Yeah. So you put all your cards on the table, and then it does suck to be like, oh, I don't know if you're gonna like this one, But like 9 times out of 10, when you show them that one, that may be what makes them fall in love with you even more deeply. I just digressed so hard. What was the point? Okay, love bombing. No, being all talk and no action. So.
But I feel like that's a yes and a no, because when you show up for someone, you are like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm here to do the
Yeah.
work. And like in this recent case, someone hasn't been able to meet you there yet because they weren't ready.
Right.
So you were there.
When I show
So
up,
no,
I
you're
show
not no
up.
action. You do action.
Yeah,
Actually, you're action Chelsea.
Yeah, when I show up, I do show up. But I am a lot of talk until I decide if I'm gonna show up.
Me
I
too.
guess. And I think that the thing is too is that you guys are seeing my Instagram. So like, yeah, all of my posts are all talk. I'm not out here trying to date any of you. Like I literally, my Instagram is not a dating profile. It is a compilation of experiences that I have gone through, that I have learned from, that I have healed through, feelings, hurts, pains that I have experienced and learned from, and I'm reiterating them as if they're happening currently so that hopefully someone can feel like not alone if they're currently going through them. So some of the stuff I post about is from years ago. So if you're seeing this and being like, oh, she's saying, oh, I want a guy who blah, 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 but she doesn't actually mean it. Like, I do mean that. I do want that, but I don't want one of you. No offense. Like, I want to meet someone in my life that the Lord presents to me through a friend or through church or through not Instagram,
Well,
like,
how do you know that the Lord doesn't bring you someone? You see, you're like the man waiting for the boat who dies.
I don't know, man. I don't know about that. And
I'm just trusting the Lord.
We're
That's
just
it.
trusting the Lord, yeah. And I think that I do still have a little bit of this, there's this guiding light in me that is peace. And I will say that everything in life, as much as I am a confused, fickle little snowflake, there's been so many things, and I always use this as an example. It's silly, but it's so good. Choosing a college. I was like, I can't even choose an ice cream flavor. You want me to choose a university?
Oh, you also have problems choosing me too.
Yeah. So like, we're all over the place and this and that. And so what I'm saying, and that's why with guys, we're like, do we do this? Do we do that? How do I know? Is this the boat or is this the boat?
That's a trauma
Or is it-
response.
But here's the thing. When you know, you know.
I know.
You know. I applied to 15 to 20 colleges. 15 to 20 colleges. And I got a full ride to one. I didn't have like excellent grades.
So basically, we're just waiting for our full ride.
We're waiting for a full ride. I'm telling you, like when the door, and here's the thing too, that wasn't even the one I ended up with the full time. My experience was so unique, right? It gets more, like God's plan is so much crazier than anything
So
we can
you
imagine.
started at one. And
So I
ended up
started
at
at one, and then a year and a half into it, I was like, I kind of want to try out the East Coast, my fickle self again. And ironically, it was the one that my dad had been like, you should try this one out. And I was like, no, that one is way too conservative Christian for me. I need a more fun school. So I went over there to do consortium, which is like a semester at another school. And I was going to come back. So I started at Seattle, got a full ride at Seattle. And then I went to Boston it was only supposed to be a semester. And I fell in love. I walked onto the campus, and my dad always says it was so weird because it was middle of the winter, freezing snow. No one was on campus. It was dead. And I walked on campus, and I was like, this is it. I need to be here. This is it. This is my place. And he was like, this is so weird. Like, there's no one. What do you like about it? This is very strange. But I got that deep sense of peace. And here's the thing, though. The time when the full ride was telling me go to Seattle, that was correct. And then the time when I moved to the East Coast, that was correct. Because I would never have done well at the second school if I hadn't gone to the first. Because I wouldn't have appreciated it. Because I remember going to chapel and everyone hated chapel. They're like, I hate this. And I was like, I just came from a school where we didn't have this. So I appreciated it. Had a totally different experience. Had I gone straight from my private school to another private school, I wouldn't have had a good experience. So everything happened the way that it was supposed to And God just made it so obvious. I had this peace in my soul. I just knew when I stepped onto that campus,
Yeah.
this is it. This is where I'm meant to be. And I honestly believe, as foo-foo as that sounds, that when you find your person, you will feel that. You just feel that peace. That deep peace, and it's easy. Like, it was so easy for me to transfer. It didn't make any sense. All my credits just like magically, it was just easy, you know? And like,
Yeah.
so, I mean, everything in life is a little complicated. The whole story was complicated if you really think about it. But in the moment, when you're in a line with God and you're praying and you're like, please just guide me. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to choose. I don't know which way to go. I do think that he gives you a little like,
Definitely. And it's trusting.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And there is some waiting. You know, there was months that I had to be like, which school do I go to? And stressed about it. I didn't know I was going to get a full ride. So I was like, what do I choose for months? And I wasted all that time when he was going to just show me eventually.
Yeah.
So, next point, that you only go for looks. Now knowing you want a son of God. Okay, that's good.
That you only go for looks now knowing that you want a son of God.
Well, he used to think that I only went for looks. Now he knows that I want a son of God.
But I think it's both. Like, we all go for
Yeah.
looks in a way, you know?
Yeah.
Like, there's people who are attractive who actually, like, I know that some people wouldn't find attractive what I find attractive.
My
Like-
friends think every guy I think is hot is ugly.
I've had such mixed reviews. But yeah, like, let's call a spade a spade. You
Yeah.
gotta be attracted to your mates, you know?
You do. And I was saying earlier today, though, boy, have I personally experienced my actual eyeballs change when I get to know a person.
Yes. Oh,
Woo!
that is it. It's someone who literally sets your soul on fire. Who your soul looks at and goes, I recognize this person. That's
Yeah.
it, okay? It's heart telepathy. It's heart
Yeah.
math. It's not, it's unexplainable sometimes.
Yeah, and that's my problem with Instagram too, is it's like you can see a million pictures or even videos of someone, but you can't feel their energy. You can't like see how their demeanor is, blah, blah, blah.
Dating apps, that's my problem with dating apps as well, because I just feel like people,
Yeah.
you can
no
try, I
way.
guess, but
No,
it's-
I
it's
can't.
not-
I cannot do the dating apps because I choose people based off things that are straight out the window the moment I meet them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Meeting.
So no.
Okay, next.
But yeah,
Yeah.
you probably enjoy binge watching shows too much, so you gotta stay motivated to do work, unwind.
Press pause. My phone is ringing. Sorry.
I grew up without TV. We don't even watch. We watch maybe a movie every once in a while. Can't even make it through a movie.
Not anymore. Not since not since
wake
I've
up at
started
5.
on this journey of like self-improvement and just God, I just can't do it.
Yeah,
I
I've
can
actually
read the Bible.
the Bible,
I
and
can
we
read
read
my
books.
step
we have,
work.
We have stacks of books.
Yeah.
So that is a funny. See, you can't read a book by its cover. I've actually never been a binge watchy girl ever in my life. I have friends who watch shows, and I'll just be like, "What are you watching?" And I'll kind of like watch a few episodes with them. But I grew up without TV in my house at all. Like, no
I
t-
didn't.
no
I
TV.
grew up in the trees. Really, I was out an outdoor kid.
love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, so that's inaccurate, which is also probably why we have this business and we do so well, because
Yeah.
we get distracted by our feelings,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
but by TV shows, not so much. Anyways, thanks for watching. Like,
Thanks.
subscribe. Yeah, I know that, bro.
Bye.
Ciao.